425, Fagus sylvatica, purple fountain. Not much purple right now. And actually, I should mention, I was doing some research last night, the Esplenifolia, the Dalwick aurea, the purple fountain have all won Royal Horticultural Society Awards garden merit. So that's the highest honor the Royal Horticultural Society can bestow on a plant. That means it's gone through trials and some scrutiny to tell you that it's a good plant. So you'll see that on Canada Plants now. You'll actually see on some of the plant profiles, you'll see the RHS Award of Garden Merit symbol on the plants. So this one is called Purple Fountain. So imagine it covered in leaves, and imagine them all being purple. It's called Purple Fountain because it looks like it's a waterfall, and obviously the leaves are purple. There are quite a few other cultivars of purple and various forms of pendulous beech, but this is, as I said, because the RHS is recognized at the Royal Horticultural Society, it's one of the nicest, one of the narrowest formed, consistently purple right up until the autumn, and again, very, very long-lived. So a really unique accent plant to have in the landscape. Whatever you do, if you plant them, only plant one. You know, I've seen landscapes where someone, oh, I like this plant, so I'm going to plant 16 of them in my garden. That's a bit much, right? No such thing as bad plants, even Norway maples, just bad use of plants or poor use of plants, right? So planting a lot of these because you like them is not the case. However, there is one exception. I have seen them planted as a hedge, and that's really quite interesting. That's a screen. So you get this weeping purple background that can be really quite interesting. And that's okay if you want kind of an irregular, informal hedge, because that's the shape that you're going to get, obviously. Okay. Again, look at the characteristics to identify. You can tell that it's a Fagus sylvatica, smooth bark, etc.
Is there a mature one just at Richmond Gate? Is it right at the end?
Yeah, we used to look at some up there, and I can't remember, but I don't think it's a purple fountain. There's a Purpurea pendula,
yeah, I know it's a
and Purpurea pendula is much wider. And then there's other purple cultivars as well.
How wide will this one get?
This is about it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you know, as this moves away from its center, you can see here, so it's going to get wider here, but it won't get really wide. But if you go to the website and you look at Fagus sylvatica pendula, I've taken a picture of the pendula at Kew Gardens, England, and I visited that plant twice. I visited it once when I was a student, your age, and we went there on our third-year field trip. We all stood under the tree, and we could fit an entire class of students. Now, we were only 7 students in that class, but you could fit 30 students on a double-decker bus under this weeping beech. So I went back when I was doing my master's there, and I actually took a picture of it, because when I took a picture the first time with a slide, not digital. So now there's a slide, a digital image of Fagus sylvatica pendula, and it's one of the biggest ones I know of, probably one of the biggest in the world, and probably one of the oldest in the world. And we could have the entire class sit down at desks under that tree. And it's not very high. It's not much higher than this building, but it's just this huge weeping canopy. So every year it kind of grew out and grew out and grew out. Okay. Any questions? So you can see a typical beech leaf. This is, sorry, I should qualify that, a typical Fagus sylvatica beech leaf, because if this was Fagus grandifolia, our native beech, it would be much narrower and a much thinner leaf. But you can see how fat that is. That's really quite distinct, whether it comes from purple fountain, with the exception of splenifolia, where the leaf is quite cut. And you'll also see the venation is really quite pronounced and really quite distinct and quite attractive, right? Almost with the red veins. And that's a characteristic. So, you know, that is fairly unique. And the consistency or the texture, it's almost like a smooth, leathery texture. That's really what beech leaves are about. And this would be kind of a medium to light green color, but very, very leathery and very durable leaf. Oops, I just ripped it, but you get the point, right? Of course, there are no questions.